Okay, do-it-yourself PCB drill press. I was shopping on eBay as always, and there was a listing. I'll pop it up here. It's for a drill press, but of course, when you receive it, it's just simply a DC motor, a collet, and a nice little vial of drill bits. So it was so insanely cheap. I thought, well, what the heck? Can one make a reasonable PCB drill press using these very, very simple bits of material? Okay, well, first piece is a frame to hold everything together. This is made out of red oak and it's just simply glued together. I've cut two 7/8 inch holes into the frame. That's exactly the diameter of the pipe that I'm using. It's just copper tubing meant for plumbing purposes. And I've polished this so it's a little bit smoother than it was when it came from the store. And it slides into the frame. And then I'm going to need a little fitting here. This is normally a union between copper pipes. And I've cut the little nib out that's inside of it so it slides freely. The silver stuff is aluminum foil tape because I need it to be a little bit larger diameter. I'll show why in a moment. But basically it slides over the tubing. And I'll push the rest of the tubing into the frame here. And I'm going to have to cut this off, of course, but you can sort of see now the basics that this is going to slide up and down. It's going to hold the motor somehow so it can cut in and out of the circuit board material. Okay, assembly is fairly straightforward. I think the motor is probably metric, so yet again I have to wrap this one with some aluminum tape to make for a nice friction fit, and then I can, of course, dog down these screws, and that will hold it fairly firmly. So I just slide the pipe through, of course, and then slide on the collet and push this piece down so it's flush, and then of course I have to screw this half piece onto here, and that will give me the assembly at least of a motor moving up and down. Okay, so now I got the motor mounted, and of course the assembly just slides relatively easily on this pipe, and it holds it fairly stably. The next thing, of course, is to get a screw on here, and then I'll put a spring on that allow the assembly always to be held off from the circuit board. Okay, so I mounted two screws, one on the assembly which holds the motor, and one up here, and a very small spring. And of course what this will do is hold the motor off the circuit board so it doesn't cut into the material unless I want it to. And now if we turn it around, of course, you have this motion where you have to press down and then it will come up fairly easily. Next thing is to sort of mount a base on this. Obviously the circuit board is right here with the drill so close you would only be able to drill very shallow holes. I need to lift this off so the circuit board can slide under this whole assembly. Okay, here's the base, just a simple piece of plywood, but I've offset the frame so that when a circuit board is being drilled it can actually slide under the carriage here, so you can actually get a decent working distance on the circuit boards. You can get relatively large circuit boards, and of course then the drill bit would come down. And that is basically my approach on using this little inexpensive motor and creating an okay little PCB drill press. Okay, so just going to check for run out here. This is a dial indicator attached to a holder, and of course it's just onto the surface of the screw there, and I set my dial indicator to 0. And if I rotate the motor, I can see about 5 thou of run out. So not awesome, but I mean not entirely unexpected given the inexpensive nature of the motor involved here.